you will be able to continue in life doing your regular routines, but without the correct balance. Sooner or later, you will have friction in your life. Artificial balance causes an imbalance. From my observance of other people, I understood early that in the midst of all the hard work, I must take time to smile, go on a vacation, relax. Taking a day from your usual routine can help you think clearly about how to be wiser at doing the work without much stress.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, they total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based off preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on kyokradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Yep, that's right. We got a lot that we like to say. We got a lot that we like to do, but we want to make sure you know that's all on me. It's not on the station manager, general manager, sponsors, anything like that. It is our Winning Wednesday, and I have never been more excited about a show than I am today because I got a very special guest that's going to be joining us in just a little bit. She is an pro golfer. She is a long drive competitor, and she's got an amazing story, and I can't wait to have her on in just a little bit. But I was out at Texans training camp earlier, and the training camp stuff was, about average. A lot of questions of head coach David Culley about what's going on with Deshaun Watson. And head coach David Culley said, Deshaun is doing exactly what we asked him to do. Deshaun is doing everything that we asked him to do. They laid out a plan for Deshaun, and Deshaun, according to head coach David Culley, is following that plan to a T. So for everybody else who's out trying to make it out that he's disgruntled and he's snapping at reporters and he's injured. According to head coach David Culley, that's not true. And what reason does David Culley, or the Texans organization for that matter, have to lie for Deshaun Watson? They ain't lie for him about anything else. So I really don't think that they're going to start now. But again, got a lot of colleagues out there that are trying to turn this in to something else. Deshaun again worked out with the quarterbacks, but did not participate in the team drills. He is not taking reps away from Tyrod Taylor. He is definitely not taking away reps from Davis Mills, and he desperately needs them. Jeff Driscoll, out there. So that aside, they're getting ready for their second preseason game when they'll visit the Dallas Cowboys this Saturday, 7 o'clock Central. Now, after practice, training camp, Rusty Hardin, the attorney for Deshaun Watson, held a press conference, and he literally said, I want to refute some of the sound bites and false information that Tony Busby, the attorney for the women who have claimed sexual assault against Deshaun Watson. Tony Busby, y'all know how I feel about him. You know my personal thoughts, my personal feelings. You know that I feel like these women would be better served with a different attorney, but that's just my opinion. I'm not stating as fact or anything like that. That's a whole side issue. Tony Busby's been dropping information here lately that the FBI has been talking with him about Deshaun Watson, alluding that Deshaun Watson was a part of some sex trafficking because he reached out to women outside of the state of Texas and brought them in to the state of Texas. Now, here's what Tony Busby said. Here's what Rusty Hardin, the attorney for Deshaun Watson, he said, we want everything to come out. And by the way, this thing of sexual trafficking, that's nothing new. I do want to serve notice, if people lie to the FBI, that is a felony. End quote. That's what Rusty Hardin, attorney for Deshaun Watson, had to say in reference to statements made by Tony Busby alluding to the fact that all of a sudden the FBI has gotten involved, and according to Rusty Hardin, that's not new. That is not new. Rusty Hardin went on to say that Deshaun Watson has not spoken to NFL investigators yet, and he said that is standard, as the NFL regularly waits until a criminal investigation is over to reach out to a defendant. So according to Rusty Hardin, none of this is out of the ordinary. None of it is random. None of it is a surprise. According to him, the big surprise is how much Tony Busby is running his mouth in the media and not doing what's best for his clients. And that's trying to get justice. I'm just telling you what I heard today. So, if you thought this thing was going away quickly, it's not. If you thought that there was going to be some settlement, once Tony Busby got involved, that chance became slim and nil. I'm not taking sides, especially where the women are concerned. They have every right to pursue every justice for everything that they believe happened. And I am 100% with that. I will also say Deshaun Watson is innocent until proven guilty, no matter how many people have come out against him. I know folks want to, there's no way. Okay, innocent until proven guilty, until a court of law says you are guilty, and until a grand jury indicts and a district attorney files charges and those charges are proven out in court, is innocent until proven guilty. Reportedly, there is a grand jury that's meeting now to consider charges. We will wait to hear the outcome of that. But what I want to share with you today is what I just heard, about an hour ago. So that's all we have from there. Again, Texans are getting ready for the Dallas Cowboys this Saturday at 7 o'clock. I don't expect to see Deshaun Watson in that game. And now, with news coming out of Dallas that Dak Prescott may need a second MRI on his strained throwing shoulder. I don't expect to see him in that game either. Mike McCarthy finally saying, there's nothing that he feels like he's got to see this Saturday out of Dak Prescott. We talked about that yesterday. If I'm Dak, I'm not getting anywhere near that. Like wrap him up in bubble wrap and put him on the side and say, yo, hold on, big guy. We know you are our chance to get out there. Now, Keith Hennick knows that the Cowboys are going to open up against the defending Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That aside, I'm still not putting Dak out there Saturday, especially if he needs a second MRI, which tells me he still has some type of discomfort. Something still doesn't feel right in that throwing shoulder. And I feel bad for Dak because of everything he's done to get back on the field. Now to have his arm, his throwing shoulder, get a little worn out, that's kind of just a tough situation. All right, so that's what we got so far. Again, Troy C. Mullins going to be joining us here very, very shortly. Real excited about this one. You got to make sure you're tuned in. Listen, if you know someone who needs some encouragement, someone who needs to hear a story that will motivate them to keep pushing for their goals and their objectives and their passions and their dreams, get them on the show. Tell them to tune in, AM 1140, 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOK Radio all around the world. And you can also catch it on Facebook and Twitter at Lunch Break KYOK, at Lunch Break KYOK, or you can check it out on YouTube, The Lunch Break with AJ Jones. There you go. All right, I have to take a break. Hopefully we'll have Troy Mullins when we come back on The Lunch Break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. 800-219-8332. That's 800-219-8332.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. 800-958-2156. That's 800-958-2156.
Tune in to Table Talk with your boy, TD Blackshear, every Tuesday from 10 to 11 a.m. on the legendary KYOK 1140 a.m. and 92.3 FM. See you there.
In need of tires? Check out OMG Tire Services and more. New and used tires, all the name brands you desire. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Give them a call at 832-767-3211. Top-notch service from beginning to end. When you're done, get your car hand-washed inside and out at OMG Tire Services and more. Located at 3126 Tidwell, between 59 North and Jensen. Call 832-767-3211. That's 832-767-3211, conveniently located on the north side.
legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Two radio stations in one.
Brother Silas.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott.
I
host of the Not So
apologize.
Christian
So
Me
I
Show.
sent an
Join me
email
Saturdays
to
for
your
great fun,
PR
interviews,
at
music, and the latest
troymullins.com.
news surrounding our world today. We are the show
Okay.
that cares to
And
hear
I
your
just-
voice
yeah.
and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not
So I
So
sent it
Christian
over
Me
to you
Show,
last night, but
right
I
here
forwarded it
on
back
the
over
legendary
to the
KYOK
email you
Radio,
just sent me from.
1140 AM,
The
and
Silas,
all new
yeah.
92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Yeah. We can do it then. So what time is that? For me, that's 1:20. Okay, no problem. No problem at all. Whenever you jump in on, we'll be ready. I tell you what I'll do. I'll send you a link where you can watch it live, what everybody else sees. Okay, no problem, man. I'll send it over to you now. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye. All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, man. I'm so excited about this interview. I'm trying to make sure we got it right. So just hung off the phone with her manager, with her agent, and we're going to get that together. It'll be coming up in about 30 minutes, Y'all stay right there. I'm going to forward over to him what he needs to be able to see the interview. And I want to, again, make sure that we get this. She has such a compelling story that I want to make sure that you all get a chance to hear it. And I see a lot of text messages coming in about Deshaun Watson. Listen, I am not going to litigate the case on my show. I'm not going to do that. I'm not taking sides either. I know many of you feel like I am, and like I already have. I have not. All I've said is this, that he's innocent until proven guilty, and that these ladies deserve to have what they believe happened to them fully investigated. Not partially, not a little bit, but fully investigated. So that's all I've said. That's all I'm gonna say. I got nothing else for you on that. I got nothing else for you negatively on that. All right. So as far as your thoughts about his guilt or his innocence or anything like that, that's between you and, whatever deity you serve. Don't pull me in on it. I'm not co-signing, and I'm not disagreeing, even if you got him guilty already. Even if you feel like all the ladies are lying. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not agreeing I'm not on your side. I'm not in that. My job is to cover the news. And the news out of the camp today was Rusty Hardin said that Deshaun has not spoken with NFL investigators yet. That's not uncommon. When there are some criminal cases involved, they usually let that play out, and then they get in touch with the quote-unquote defendant. As far as the FBI, that's not new news, as Tony Busby tried to make it like, oh, yeah, and by the way, maybe people knock on my door, and maybe they are with the FBI, and maybe they want to know about bringing a person from Atlanta to Houston and sexually assaulting them. That's maybe it was the FBI. Stop playing games, man. This is too serious for game playing. How about that? How about that? Tony Busby has attacked the HPD. Tony Busby has attacked the district attorney's office. Tony Busby obviously has attacked Deshaun and Rusty Hardin. Tony Busby has attacked the NFL. The only person Tony Busby has not attacked is himself and his office. Only people he hadn't attacked. NFL's moving too slow. They haven't talked to enough of his clients. They haven't treated his clients properly. The HPD was going to some kind of way lose evidence and not properly investigate. The district attorney's office is not on his side. He's had problems with them before. It's like, bruh, everybody's out to get you. Again, I'm not saying anything about the ladies. I want them to get justice. I want them to get justice. They deserve justice. And I'm not one of those guys, oh yeah, I have a daughter. They deserve. No. If I didn't have a daughter, they deserve justice. Oh yeah, if that happened to my wife, it don't have to happen to my wife. The right thing needs to happen. Sometimes we say stuff as if we're sounding very ally-ish, and it's really not smart. So you're telling me if you didn't have a daughter or a wife, you wouldn't be concerned? And oh yeah, by the way, Deshaun Watson's participation in Texas training camp is what they've laid out for him. Keith Hennig, you are hilarious. I have taken his side. Shame on me. No, Keith, people do it, man. People do it. We've seen so much in our society lately where it's just hard to take sides. It's just hard to take sides. I dare say I bring up the O.J. Simpson trial where everybody signed, sealed, delivered. He's guilty. What was the verdict? Not guilty. Some kind of way, O.J. and Johnny Cochran and all of the attorneys for O.J., some kind of way, they flipped the jury. Some kind of way, they flipped the judge. Some kind of way. I know it wasn't a real movie, but there was a movie that Jamie Foxx was in where he was an attorney and he was trying to represent a guy whose family got killed, and the guy was in prison, and the guy was telling him, hey, man, you ought to be able to prove this, you ought to be able to prove that. The truth is this, the truth is that. And Jamie yelled at me and said, it's not about what's the truth, it's about what I can prove. I forget the name of that movie. It was a very good movie. Had me yelling at the TV as I was watching it. So anyway, Citizen something. Somebody help me. Y'all know I love movies. I can't remember that one. But anyway, Casey Anthony. That was another case. Remember the Casey Anthony case? Oh, she's guilty. Oh, the evidence is insurmountable. Oh. And guess what? Casey Anthony walked right on smooth out of that courtroom. Not guilty. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Deshaun is guilty. I'm not saying he's in. It's got to play out. And Tony Busby is not doing his clients a service by the way he's handling it. Don't try it in the public, in the media, on social media. Get in a courtroom. Work on that process. Make sure your clients get the best representation they can possibly get. If Deshaun is guilty, he'll pay for it. Law-abiding citizen. Milo, you the man. Milo, I know your kids are grown. Milo, do you want tickets to the Children's Museum of Houston? Milo, if you want tickets to the Children's Museum of Houston, let me know. I'll send you a 4-pack. I got to get rid of those. And some Dickey's barbecue, bro. Milo, you the man. Law-abiding citizen. Great movie. Great movie. Man, that movie had me so heated. That movie had me heated. I wanted to come through the screen on that dude. He's sneaking all through the jail and can get out of jail anytime he feel like it. He in jail and still out on the street committing crimes. It was a good movie, man. That was a real good movie. So anyway, I digress. I want to focus on the football side of it. The football side of it is the Cowboys play the Texans Saturday at 7. It's the third playoff game, preseason game for the Cowboys. It's the second preseason game for the Texans. And for me, I know the Texans beat Green Bay 26-7. I know that. But they got to show a lot more than they did in that game. Got to see some of these starters get some run in that game for the Texans now, not for the Cowboys. Cowboys, you put your people up. You figure out who's going to make the team, if they're going to be special teamers, if they're going to be starters, backups. You figure that out and get ready for Tampa Bay. Texans, what's going on out there? What Mark Ingram, Lindsey, who's going to be what's the running back core going to look like? Y'all got 8,999 wide receivers. Who's going to be the starting four and who's going to be coming off the bench? That offensive line has got to get going. One thing that I've been seeing them do that I like, Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard on the same side of the line, on that left side. Let that happen. Let that happen. That's a winning Wednesday right there. You put that on the left side of the line, throw one of them big old tight ends on the other side, that's first down. If it's third and short, if it's fourth and short, that's first down. You can run to that side. You can roll out to that side. That side would be on lock. Texans need to make that happen. I know I want Laramie Tunsil. I want Titus Howard to be a legit tackle. But, baby, if you throw him in at guard on the left side of that line next to Laramie Tunsil, ball game. Let's go. Let's go. Man, that will make Tim Kelly look smart right there. That will give him some more time in his job right there. I don't know what they're going to do on the right side, but that left side would be nice. Put one of them big tight ends over there and let's go. Third and short, we coming. We coming. So, yeah, that one I like. That one I like. I will say this about David Culley. Man, I don't know what he does before the games and practice. I don't know what his I'm getting ready to face the media regimen is. I don't know if he prays. I don't know if he hits energy drinks. I don't know what he does, but baby, when those lights come on, his energy level is on 100. David Culley's energy level is on 100. You got to understand now. Watch this. This has been the coaching staff. Was it Chris Palmer? Was it Gary Kubiak? Gary was cool, but Gary was like, Gary was one of those dudes that it's almost like he hit the play button. He said the same thing over and over. Oh, yeah, they really practice well and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And then they go out and they get pounded. And then, of course, we had old line Bill O'Brien. And then we had Romeo Crennel. And Romeo was cool, but Romeo wasn't high energy. And now we got David Culley. And every answer feels like something you should be excited about. Like, really? Wow. Yeah, our special teams is, and you're like, really? Wow. Because his energy level is so up. Now, I'm not saying that's going to make him a good coach. I'm not saying they're going to win 10 games. They're probably going to be 4-13. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is his energy level is, and they are peppering him with Deshaun Watson questions, even to the point where when he answers them, they'll ask him the same question differently. So is Deshaun Watson hurt? No, he's not hurt. He's doing everything we asked him to do. So is there an injury involved with Deshaun? No, he's fine. We laid out a plan for Deshaun, and he's doing everything we asked him to do. So, coach, is there something you're not telling us? No, I'm just telling you, Deshaun is, and we're pleased with what Deshaun is doing. He's doing exactly what we asked him to do. He shows up every day. He works hard, and, he goes on about his business. Deshaun is doing everything we asked him to do. So are you guys pleased with Deshaun? It's like this dude just answered that 5 times with an energy level that y'all need to appreciate. Like, I'm looking forward to post-game interviews for the first time in a long time. I wasn't covering the Texans back when they had that first regime. I got on board in the Gary Kubiak era. And like I said, Gary Kubiak was like, oh, bro, I know what he's going to say. Watch. Boom. There it is. And then we got line Bill O'Brien, and I miss Gary Kubiak. And then we had Romeo Crennel, and I love Rack, as they call him. I love Coach Crennel. I just love him for his wisdom. And, he ain't going to lie to you. He's going to tell you the truth. Why'd you go for it on 4th and 12? I thought we could make it. I mean, we're 4-99. I mean, what are we holding back for? Got to take chances. Oh, okay, all right. I hear what you're talking about, Coach. Let me write that down. And David Culley, if nothing else, he seems to be excited about this opportunity, and I can't be mad at that. Now, please don't get it twisted. I'm not all of a sudden in love with the Texans. I'm not all of a sudden going to tell you they are going to compete with the Tennessee Titans for the number 1 spot in the AFC South. They're not going to compete with the Colts for the number 2 spot. They're going to be battling with Jacksonville for that, that 3rd spot. That's where they'll be. That's their lane right there. But it looks like Coach Culley is going to be excited about the whole ride. And I can't be mad about that. One thing I'm glad I have not seen is Jack Easterby. I haven't seen him. Now, other people may have. I haven't seen him. I'm not looking for him, but I haven't stumbled. Oh, there you go. I haven't seen him. And I don't want to see him. And the organization should not allow him to be seen. Nick Caserio should be a little bit less visible as well. Let it focus on the field, bro. Let it focus on the field. All right, take a break. Be right back with more right after this. If you got a birthday, get them to me.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
This is Lakeisha, and you're listening to The Lunch Break on KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. It's our Winning Wednesday. And Milo Thomas picked up a 4-pack to the Children's Museum, Houston, plus some barbecue from Dickey's Barbecue Pit. Oh, because he knew the answer to the movie with Jamie Foxx I was talking about. The answer to the movie was law-abiding citizen, and that thing was good. That thing was good. I was at rehearsal for the play that I'm going to be in last night. You know, the play's Saturday. I'll tell you about that later. And first time in a play. So everybody else has been in plays before, and they're professionals. They got agents. I don't have an agent yet. And man, they were so good in rehearsal last night. I was crying. I was laughing out loud, probably interrupting stuff. Laughing out loud. I was mad at the lead actress. She had me so mad. I was like, I'm really mad at you. And they were like, that's good acting when you actually feel the emotion and you don't separate it from it being a play. And that's where I was last night, man. I was mad for real. I was sad for real. I was jacked up for real. And that's where I was in law-abiding citizen, man. I was mad at the dude on the TV. I was like, bro, sit down somewhere. Go to jail and stay there. He's sneaking all out and terrorizing people and sneaking back in like he ain't do nothing. Like, oh, I'm so mad at him. And Jamie Foxx figured his tail out. I love me some Jamie. Me and Jamie got the same birthday. I feel like I'm supposed to have Jamie's money. It just hadn't manifested yet. We got the same birthday though, December 13th, me and Jamie Foxx. So if you ever want to celebrate a real good birthday, not your own now, that's always the best birthday. But if you ever want to celebrate a real good birthday, December 13th is it. Me and Jamie Foxx, we got it. We man, that's a good day. It's a real good day. December is a good month. Best month for birthdays. Let me see. Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold on. I got somebody in my inbox, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Bro, I'll be your agent. You get 20, and I get 80 for the first 3 years. Let me think about that for a second. No! I'm new to this, but I'm also true to this. Give me 30. You can take 70. Man. I'm serious. I got like 4 lines in this play, and I'm trying to find an agent. I'm for real. Like the bug has bitten me. I want to be in plays. I can't sing, so I won't never sing. Mama, your arms are too short to box with God. I won't be singing that. But I'm just saying. I want to do it, man. It's a lot of fun. I play a pastor. No stretch there. But I'm a different pastor. Look, don't sleep on me. I'm a different pastor. All right. So anyway, let me get to some of these text messages about Deshaun Watson and the Texans. All right. So 832-438. Okay. I see you got your name there. Thomas says, man, I just want the Texans to play competitive football this year. Last year was tough to watch as a fan. I don't care who the team has as players. I'm a fan of the team, not the players. Okay. All right, Thomas, I kind of feel you was with you, but not exactly. I'm more of a fan of the teams I grew up with. So if y'all haven't figured it out now, I was born in Cincinnati. My parents, my mom, anyway, her side of the family is from Louisiana. And I spent almost every summer in Louisiana at my grandparents, Darrow, Louisiana. They're in heaven now, so I don't mind telling y'all where they're from. But anyway, so I grew up a Bengals fan because of my dad. And I grew up a Saints fan because of my grandfather and my mom's family. And nobody can take that away from me. I got a couple of people out there, oh, you got to pick one team. There's no rules that say that. And you're not going to force your rules on me. I'm just saying, y'all don't want nobody tell y'all to wear a mask, but y'all want to tell me how many teams I can root for. That was an eclipse. Let that darkness come around you. You'll be all right. But anyway, so I'm a fan of the Bengals. I'm a fan of the Saints, and kind of no matter who's on the team, I'm still going to be a fan of those two teams. But other than that, I love players and I love coaches. You will never hear me say anything bad about Mike Tomlin. I might criticize him a little bit, but I'm not going to end it on a bad note. But you know what? Winningest black head coach ever. Him, Tony Dungy, you ain't never going to hear me say nothing bad about them. I'm rarely going to say stuff bad about Bill Belichick. Best head coach ever was. Am I a New England fan? No, but I respect Bill Belichick. Dusty Baker. Loved him. At every stop he made, loved him. So that's why LeBron, I'm a LeBron fan. I love to do, man. Imagine somebody else doing what LeBron is doing at his size, everywhere he's been. I mean, come on now. Karl Malone with handles and a three-point shot. That's basically what you're looking at for my old timers. Somebody was trying to tell me that Kevin Durant has matched everything that LeBron has. Not yet. Not yet. Kevin Durant has been to an NBA Finals with every team that he's been on except Brooklyn. But watch this. LeBron has been to the NBA Finals with every team he's been on, and LeBron has championships with every team that he's been a member of. So Kevin Durant hasn't matched LeBron yet. Not talking about LeBron and Michael, not talking about that. Because Michael didn't make it to the finals and win a chip with Washington. But LeBron has won a chip on every team he's been on and been to the finals on every team that he's been on. Durant hadn't done that yet. Now, Durant is still a special player, 7 foot tall and can shoot, can score, can literally take over a game, can be unstoppable when he puts his mind to it. That's a winner. That's a winner. I'm a fan of Kevin Durant. Not personally, player. I like James Harden. I ain't going to never hang out with him. Me, him, and DaBaby ain't going to never be out passing around honey buns. You know, if they give me mine, I'm getting it to go. Hey, Dre, we got a honey bun for you. Okay, cool. Give it here. Put it in the bag. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Where you going? I got that thing. I got that thing. Anybody ever tell you they got that thing? That means, translation, I don't want to be with y'all right now. Translation, I want to be anywhere else but here, and I don't know how to lie. So anyway, I get what you said, Thomas, but I'm more of a fan of players and my two favorite teams. All right, let's go to Nino. What's going on, Nino? Nino said, yo, man, what do you think about the Patriots quarterback battle? There is no quarterback battle with the Patriots. If there is, then that means the Patriots have lost their ability to evaluate talent. Mac Jones may be the quarterback of the future. He should have been drafted as the quarterback of the future. The future is not now in New England. It's not. It's not. What they need in New England is a smart, heady, athletic quarterback who can help them compete with Buffalo. And Miami, by the way. Miami finished second in that division last season. But you're not going to get there with Mac Jones this year. Again, let Mac Jones do what he did that I was still not impressed with, but let him do whatever impressed so many people against live, legit, first team NFL defensive players in Buffalo, on the road in Miami. If he can do that, then I'm going to leave y'all alone. I'm going to leave y'all alone. All right, let me get Sybil Wilkes on here. I'll do birthdays, and then I believe very shortly after that, we're going to have our special guest, and you want to talk about winning. This young lady has won in every area of her life. Didn't say it was easy, just said she's done it, and I want to hear her story. I want you to hear it too. So, all right, let me get you Sybil Wilkes, and then when we come back, we'll have birthdays, and we'll go from there. All right, right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. The Pentagon is warning that terrorist networks based in Afghanistan could gain power faster than expected after the Taliban seized control last week. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made clear to lawmakers over the last 24 hours that he wants to reassess the potential for terrorist groups to reconstitute inside Afghanistan in light of the takeover. Flights resumed from Kabul's international airport Tuesday after a frenzied and panic-filled Monday that saw thousands of Afghans swarm the tarmac in attempts to get out of Afghanistan. Top health officials in the Biden administration are expected to announce that most Americans should get COVID booster shots 8 months after becoming fully vaccinated. The plan would involve administering third shots beginning mid to late September, pending authorization from the FDA. Last week, the FDA authorized third doses for some people who are immunocompromised. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK 1140 92.3, streaming live on kyokradio.org, also streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, so happy birthdays going out. Happy birthdays going out to one of the baddest ladies in the real estate business, Ruby Branch. Happy birthday to your friend. Casey Finley, 41 years young today. Marquise Wilson celebrating a birthday, along with Betty Wright. Not that Betty Wright, but this Betty Wright. She is 41 as well. Yolanda Gray Sherman, Dr. Yolanda Gray Sherman is celebrating her birthday, along with Cletus Tolliver. There's a couple of names that I always say, if they got that name, they owe. Gus and Cletus. Happy birthday, Cletus. He's 41. Let's see. Linda Moulton Smith White celebrating her birthday today, along with Rachel Lockett. I love this lady. This is one of the most elegant ladies you'll ever see. Her name is Jacqueline Cobbin, and she is 70 years old. And let me tell you something. She looks like she's 30 years old. And I mean that sincerely. Check her out on the book, Jacqueline Cobbin. Lady Jacqueline Cobbin, happy birthday to you. Jessica Fabulous Black celebrating her birthday today, along with Valencia Blacksher, 37. Christy Love celebrating her birthday, along with Stephanie Myers, the big 5-0. Happy birthday to y'all. In fact, birthday's so special, I got somebody to sing to you.
Oh, go shorty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
All right, y'all, let me get a couple of celebrity birthdays in there while I've got you. One of the best baseball players to ever lace them up, Roberto Clemente, was born on this day. 15-time MLB All-Star, World Series MVP in 60 and 71, played with the Pirates, and he was born, of course, in Puerto Rico. Rayford Johnson, one of the baddest athletes in track and field, won the gold medal in the Olympics back in 1960, was born right here in Texas on this day. Kenny Skywalker from the UK Wildcats, one of my favorite players growing up. He was born on this day. And then Liz Cambage for you Americans, but Cambage celebrating her birthday, one of the most beautiful, anointed lady basketball players.
1140 AM, KYOK Conroe, and 92.3 FM, K222CX Houston.
I believe. The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Walk out on that field today. Ask yourself this question.
What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We made it! We made it! We made it! We made it! I'm going to the house! I'm going to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. I go to the house. I go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. Can say accent. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. It's too much crying from him. He's a man. They can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud when you step on the field, man. That's what I did. When I step on the field, I'm sending one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm jealous of the hair. I used to have hair.
It's hot most of the time.
All right, we're going live right now.
Okay.
No. This game is not over. In fact, it is my favorite hour of the show now because joining me all the way from the left coast, we've got professional golfer, long drive competitor, and funky hair man, woman.
It's crazy right now.
See, Mullins. Troy, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm hyped. I'm telling you, I was so excited about this interview. I was like a little kid on Christmas Eve. I wanted to hurry up and go to bed so I could hurry up and wake up and it already be Christmas. So I mean it. I'm not even going to embarrass you with how bad I am at golf, but I do play quite a bit.
Okay.
And a friend of mine told me about you, and I started looking you up. I was like, oh my God, I got to have her on the show. And that's why I start social media stalking you on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And you got me with your people, and we were able to make this happen. And I'm so glad to have you today.
Oh, thank you so much. That's sweet.
Troy, let me tell you something. You have an amazing story. And one of the things that I do on my show, a little different than sports talk shows, we like to get to know the person and their story and their journey. Because, we see what we see. And we just saw in the Olympics, Simone Biles, the greatest of all time. And because she couldn't perform when the people wanted her to, they were ready to tear her down. Nobody knowing her story on how she got there and what she had to do to get there. Tell us about Troy. How did Troy get started from where she started to where she is today?
Oh, man. I feel like there's so many stories. But specifically with golf, I didn't grow up playing the game. I was a track athlete. But I also played volleyball in high school, so I did all the sports. And when I went to college, I thought I was going to be an ambassador. I wanted to live in China. I wanted to work in government. I thought that that was the plan. So my major took me to Beijing. I stayed at Beijing University for a semester. I was fluent in Mandarin at the time and loving life. And while I was there, I had kind of gotten a little bit of the golf bug over that summer with my godfather. And I took time on the weekends during my study there to go to the driving range in China to hit balls. And I really knew nothing at the time, but I just loved hitting the ball, seeing where it goes, meeting people while I was golfing on the driving range. And that was really the best part of it for me, is that I was kind of branching out of my social circle and enjoying just being outside with people. And after college, I graduated and the plan was to go to law school. And I said, you know what? I'm kind of good at this golf thing. Let's see where I can go. I thought because I could hit targets that meant I was a good golfer. And I've since realized that they're very different things. So I worked my butt off. I started tutoring. I started working at a bar, at a coffee shop. I did all of these things just to try and be able to afford playing the game. And again, I just kept meeting people and being in the right place at the right time and learning from some of the greatest coaches out there. it was tough because coaching is expensive. And so I was like, going broke trying to pay these coaches. And so I started getting little notebooks of just taking in as much information as possible and seeing what works and what doesn't work and watching YouTube videos and saying, okay, I remember this and see how that can apply to my game. Like, it's almost like I went back to college for golf.
Wow.
And I just really studied how these greats can, strike the ball so well. I remember watching hours. When I say hours, there's only so many hours of like Tiger and Butch videos online, but I just watched them on repeat. And it's funny, like I've got the swing and people are like, how do you do it? I'm like, trust me, it was hard to do. But golf has taken me to so many cool places and I've met so many cool people like you.
Look, I am just overwhelmed. I'm sitting here having a stargazing moment. And we got Troy C. Mullins joining us here on the lunch break. She's a professional golfer. She's a long drive competitor. And as she just said, she started off and you played volleyball and you were a heptathlete.
Yeah.
And you did the heptathlon. Do you think that helped you prepare to switch to golf? And because that's more than, obviously more than just one specific event in track. I ran hurdles and I was a
Oh, you did? Okay.
in high school. And then when I got to college, my coach was like, nah, you're not pole vault. I need you to run these hurdles. I need you to get sub 13. I never got there, but my focus was on that one event. So do you think the fact that you specialize in a variety of different things kind of prepared you for golf or no?
I think so. I think when in high school, I was just a sprinter. And so I wasn't really planning on running track in college. And I was working with Chuck Davis out here in LA. He was a coach at UCLA for many, many years. And he was like, you're missing an opportunity to play college sports. And it's such a great thing. And so we started just working on the hurdles and the javelin and the high jump. And these were things that I'd never done before. But yeah, like I had to become, again, like a beginner, but also a student of that sport and different parts of it. And I think it helped with, my time management, especially in golf. There's 14 clubs that I have to master, right? And then also bring all 14 to a course that is different every time with different conditions. But yeah, I think time management is such a big thing, and not even just for golfers or athletes. Like in tutoring, when I was tutoring academics, I brought a lot of that to my students, where I thought sometimes they were struggling with the subject, but a lot of times they're struggling with getting things done, getting it done on time. Yeah.
So we got Troy Mullins joining us here on the lunch break, professional golfer, long drive competitor, and master of many trades, not jack of all trades, but master of many trades. Not only were you able to kind of pull all that together, but you have an Ivy League education. How did that come about? How did the little girl from California end up over in the Ivy League?
Well, I think I have to thank my mom and my parents for that one, and my grandmother. But yeah, education was always a really big focus in my household. And, even, summer school was always thought of. I think there's like a thought that summer school means, you didn't do well in, the previous semester. But I went to summer school to skip classes. So super nerd. I remember taking chemistry over the summer so I could get into AP bio in ninth grade, which no one does. But I convinced two friends to do it with me.
And did all three of you all survive? Did all three of you make it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We did not. So AP bio was the hardest class, I think. I think maturity wise, I was not ready for it, but I was in it. I was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, at my high school, is an all girls school. It was, that was everybody's focus was to get into really great schools, and you work really hard at that. And then once you get there, it's funny because, you work so hard in academics, you kind of forget that you're a person too. And who are you and what do you like to do? And so I discovered, I feel like a lot of that in college at Cornell, and it was an experience being. I said I want to get out of Cali. I want to enjoy California when I come back, and that I did.
Now, see, that's the part I kind of wanted to get to because, a lot of folks, and I got a lot of friends from California, they love Cali so much, they literally do everything in California. And it's so big that you could be in one part and it's nothing like the other part, Southern California, what have you. But you just traversed the entire country and you felt okay about that. What was it like being that far away from home?
It was fine. It was colder. When I visited, I didn't realize it was going to be that cold the whole time. I just thought, okay, winter time was like a few months. But it was great. It was great to miss and really appreciate what, us Californians love about California. And you meet, I would never have met all of my great friends that I have from everywhere on the East Coast. I would never have experienced that life if I just stayed here. And I think that's really what the college experience or any experience is about.
Well, listen, I got to take a quick break, but I want to pre-sell this before we come back. What was the hardest part of that experience for you? Transitioning from track and field and volleyball to what you thought you wanted to do while at Cornell to what you're doing now. What was the hardest part of that transition? Give you a moment to think about it. We'll take a quick break. We've got a phenomenal guest here with us today. I'm super excited about it. It's Troy C. Mullins. She's a professional golfer. She's a long drive competitor. And she is a lunch breaker today, right here on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We'll be right back.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
You're listening to Child Radio, the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life of Jesus Christ with Shy.
Come on, everybody, clap like this. Clap like this. Hello, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour.
Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day, week, and month. Interviews will be with pastors, community leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. Claude, a part of our responsibility is informing the citizenry and give them power to the people.
That's right, Trey. We're asking that you listen in on 1140 AM, 92.3, or streaming on KYOKradio.org, Thursdays at 10 a.m. Hey, what's up? This is your boy James Fortune, and you are listening to The Lunch Break. Keep it locked.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're streaming live on KYOKradio.org, also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And, I love playing this track. California knows how to party, but today we're really eating something. We got Troy Mullins joining us here on the show. And Troy's been from California to Cornell to Beijing to all around the world doing amazing stuff. And Troy, what was the hardest part? What was the hardest part transitioning from what you thought you wanted to do to what you're actually doing now?
I think the hardest part, it continues to be the hardest part, is telling people my goals and my dreams and then thinking that I need acceptance for those things, and I don't. When I said I wanted to be ambassador to China, I grew up with family friends that were Chinese, and I just fell in love with the culture and the language, the food, and I appreciated the long history. And so I was just wanted to be immersed in that, in that country. But everybody's like, oh, Black girl in China, like speaking Chinese, like that's not a thing. Doing the heptathlon from being a sprinter, that's not a thing. Being a golfer after having that grown up, being a golfer, that's, So having to hear like everybody's opinions about something that they don't think as normal, or not the traditional path, and having to kind of navigate through that and continue down the road, even though, you know, I see it as a goal. And being okay with that has not been the easiest, I'll say.
And I appreciate you saying how it's still a challenge for you today, because there are a lot of people that see what you're doing and see your success, and just see you on pictures with Tiger Woods and other great people and golfers and what have you, and they don't realize that there's still a battle. There's still some struggle. There's still some challenges going on. How do you deal with that?
Having the right people around, and realizing, you know, that how blessed I am to even, you know, be able to play the game, be able to have had a great education. But at the same time, I know that I've worked really hard to get here. And so I can't let, you know, these negative experiences or negative people take away from that. I've worked way too hard for every step of, you know, of my journey. And I just have to remember that is, that's more important, right? The journey has been great. And these little things are when I look at people in the past, when I look at, you know, Jackie Robinson, and I look at even Serena and Tiger and what they had to deal with, it's so small and so minuscule in retrospect. So it's like not even anything to worry about.
Yeah. I'm glad to hear you talk about this, because I mean, you're literally talking about people. I'm going to use the word stealing your passion, your dream, all of your hard work, sometimes in just a sentence or a conversation or in a negative comment. And, you know, especially if it's someone close to us that we care about, and they literally say, I don't believe in that, or I don't think that's for you, or you're not going to be good at that. Oh, baby, don't do that. And you worked real hard, and you put in your sweat and your tears and all of that, your money. I mean, you talked about all the things you did just to be able to get golf lessons and coaches and what have you. Was there a time when it clicked that I can't focus on that, I've got to focus on this? Was there a moment that you can remember that it was like, okay, I'm just going to do this?
Oh, yeah, there was a time where I had just done my first long drive event. I didn't know anything about long drive. I knew that I'd started to learn that I was hitting it far because I only played with men. So I only played with my godfather and his friends. And so I got a job at this golf course, and I met a really longtime friend golfer, professional golfer, Jenny Lee. And she was like, you know, you hit it really far. And I was like, no, I don't hit it that far. And so she sent me the link. She said, you got to sign up for long drive. It's just an hour outside of Vegas. You just got to go do it. And so after that event, I started getting other little golf events. And long story short, I went back into trying to find a coach, because they said that was the only way you could get sponsors if you had a legitimate coach, not just you teaching yourself. Wow. And I remember that this coach kind of was changing a lot of things that weren't, like, changing what came naturally to me. And I think what's great about golf now is you see that so many golfers are becoming athletes. And at the time, they were trying to take the athlete out of me and make me a golfer. And so I remember after that, I was still tutoring, and I was, you know, I have created relationships with some of my students who became like my mentees, right? And they were really excited about what I was trying to do. Like, they thought it was different. And it's different because when you talk to an adult about telling them, you know, I want to be a professional golfer, they give you all the pitfalls. And when you talk to a teenager, they're like, wow, that's awesome. And they want to know everything about it. Like, how are you going to do it?
Right.
And so that kind of motivated me, that like my students were inspired by something different. And I was like, okay, like I kind of lost my way a little bit there, and they kind of brought me back.
Yeah. It's almost like you're focusing on the loud negative voices, but you got some loud positive voices over here. So just change the focus. So I'm really glad that happened for you. We've got Troy C. Mullins. She's an amazing professional golfer, long drive competitor, and again, world traveled, and just so glad to have her on the show. Tell us about long drive competitions. Most of us, we see Tiger in the Masters and all these other different major events, but tell us about long drive.
Okay, so I'll give you the basic rundown of long drive. Is the premise is hit it as far as you can. So you're standing on a tee box where, like, most people are like, the most nervous you can be on a golf course is on a tee box.
Right.
And you've got 8 balls. You got 2 minutes to just hit one in the fairway as long as you can. And it's
got to be in the fairway.
Got to be in the fairway.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And it's not landing distance. It's rollout. So that I wasn't aware of. I was trying to just hit it high and let it fly. But there's strategy involved where, like, some people hit it low and want it to run, and then there's wind involved, and you have different clubs to play against different winds. And so when I showed up in the beginning, I had a friend. He's also a golfer, but he's a long drive senior champion. So I went to him and I was like, help me get better at this. Like, what can I do? And so we spent hours and hours trying to, like, find the right driver. Mm-hmm. And he went back to his shop and he was like, this is mine. Let me just see how you hit my club. Right. And so he gave me his club and I hit it the best of all of them. And he's like, fine, just take it. And I'm like, really? Just get He's like, just take it, Pat Dempsey. And so I went with my one club to every event, and all the girls were like, really, Troy, just one club? And I'm like, this is all I've got. Okay. So I've got my spirit and the club. Like, this is what I'm coming with. So, but yeah, like, it was one of those things where, if it was windy that day and my ball was going up, that was it. And so it kind of just, in that one event in Denver, the Mile High, the one that I ended up winning, I kind of just didn't even care. I saw that the wind was coming into us, right? Yeah. And so at the time I was hitting a draw, which is a left to right, or right to left. Sorry, right to left. And the wind was coming in. So I knew if I started it center of the fairway that it would push out. Yeah. So I hit a couple of those and I was like, okay, Troy, this is not working. Trust that you're going to hit it out and it's going to come back. So I kind of just closed my eyes and was just like, okay, we've got this. We're aiming over there. It's going to come back, right? We've seen it do it. Don't worry. And it worked out. So long drive is fun. It was crazy. It's loud rock music. I wish they had like rap music or like something. R&B is like really at my jam. Like it's just the right tempo. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a great sport.
If they put on that R&B, it'd be no contest. You'll be in the groove.
No, there was one where they played. What's that song? Oh no, the Brick House.
Okay.
And I was so into the song, like I almost forgot what I was doing.
Troy. R&B, she said, Brick House. We got Troy C. Mullins joining us here on the show. She is sharing some just great stuff with us. And Troy, this is going to sound like a stretch, all right? But I want you to follow me on this. You all can do things in golf that most of us can't even comprehend. And that's being able to read greens, how the ball is going to break when you're putting, how to be able to read the wind. If I hit it this way, it is going to come back. Trust that. How is what you're doing on the golf course affecting your faith in life?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would say it's more the opposite.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would say that I have to actively try to bring my faith to the golf course.
Okay.
Yeah, that it's funny that in life, you trust that, that God has a plan for you, and you try not to question it, and you try to say yes to things that feel right, and you try to go with the flow of life, and you try to be a good person, you try
Yeah.
to do all the right things, and you hope that you're being supported. And in golf, it's not that way. You hit the ball great and it lands in a divot or it lands in a bunker. And it's hard to have faith and trust in just your ability because there's so many other factors coming at you.
Sure.
So I would say definitely for me, it's been tough trying to bring that, trust and faith to the course, to the game.
Wow, that was that. I didn't see that coming. Like you said, that faith to the game versus the game strengthening your faith. I can appreciate that. A question just came in. This person's talking about the expense of golf, but also wanting to know who some of your influences were since you didn't grow up playing golf.
Oh, great question. I don't think I really didn't know outside of Tiger. I didn't know much about golfers, to be honest. I've learned so much since being in the sport, and that's really disappointing because when I look at like track, I knew Marion Jones, I knew Flojo, I knew all of the great track athletes outside of, I think they were bigger than the sport.
Yeah,
Same with
absolutely.
tennis. I look at Serena,
Yeah.
and when I got into golf, I had to learn who the great golfers were. I think Tiger was really one of the only ones for me that was accessible to a non-golfer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something that's missing in golf, that we don't have those people that we can look up to if you don't play the sport.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting that you say that because in other sports, we see that there's a young group of baseball players that are changing the old baseball rules. They
Right.
want to stare and look at their shot when it goes 500 feet. They want to flip their bat. Same thing in football. They want to be able to have fun after a big play. How is Troy changing the game and breaking the box and the mold of a very traditional sport?
Ooh, I think me just being me, not trying to do that already kind of breaks the mold. There's a handful of Black women that play, and hopefully more will continue to play.
Mm-hmm.
And not even just at a professional level. I think when you play the game, like I said before, the networking opportunities, the opportunities for your job, just grow. And I think we should get into the game regardless of what level, right? And then in terms of clothing, I've in seventh grade, I'll never forget this. A girl said, "Troy, you never wear the same outfit twice." And and I'm not, it's true. It's a problem. And I didn't notice it, but I love clothing. I love
God.
clothing.
Oh God.
And golf clothing was at the beginning a struggle to find things that one fit. I got in trouble a lot at golf courses for wearing golf clothing that didn't fit because the skirts were too short or like something was too colorful, and like just the stories go on and on. And so I have had to go outside of golf to find clothing that fits the rules, the golf rules,
Mm-hmm.
but feel like me. And I think a part of like when you go golf is part of it is dressing up and looking the part, feeling good in your skin, and literal skin. You don't see people with their hair natural and out. And I, at the beginning, also tried to hide that, but what's the point? It's impossible to put it in a hat. So like, why? So I think just, enjoying the game and showing people how much fun it is and how much I love it will bring more of us to the game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Troy C. Mullins joining us here on the lunch break. Was that hard for you to do your own thing, or were you adamant about trying to fit in and let your game speak for you?
That's funny. I would say a little bit of both. I tend, I know my manager is going to be mad that I say this, but I tend to sometimes, not always hit the ball as far when I play with women. And it's a conscious thing because I want to fit in. I want to, I want to be a part of the group sometimes, and I subconsciously pull back. And at the same time, when I play with men, I'm like, okay, let them have it.
Sure. I know you don't know what this look means.
I know what that means. I know.
Your manager's mad at you. Uncle AJ is mad at you right now. Are you kidding me?
So I know. And so it's been something I've been working on. And just it's golf's a funny sport, and just trying to find, my spot in it, and making sure, I've always tried to not ruffle feathers, but being me seems to ruffle feathers. So I've got to just be okay with that.
One of my dear friends and golfer friends who I just absolutely love, Shalonda Dawkins. She's the one that introduced me to you, so to speak. She just tuned in, put 3 green hearts up there. And I'm gonna be nice when I respond to you real quick. You better get them ladies to step their game up. You let them be them. If they as far as you, oh what?
Thank you.
Troy, this has been nothing short of a pleasure. I mean, I am so grateful that you made the time. You got to tell us what you have coming up. You got to let us know how we can find you and follow you and keep up with all the amazing stuff that you're doing.
Ooh, we have a lot coming up. I'm not sure what I'm allowed and not allowed to say, but there's a lot of great things coming up. Let's just say that. And I am definitely more sharing of my journey. I was a little bit shy at first about sharing everything that I'm doing, because like we had said before, there was some negativity and copying, and I felt like appropriating. And now I just feel like I'm doing a disservice to everybody that, could really be into this game. And I'm just sharing everything I'm doing, and we're having collaborations, like clothing collaborations are coming, new not golf related partnerships, giveaways. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be fun. Coaching is coming soon.
All right.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's a really cool journey, and I'm super excited about it. So at Troy C. Mullins on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Okay. All right. And I've got your YouTube page up there as well. And we got to bring you to Houston. We got to get you to Houston.
Yes. I love Houston.
You do some events here. The young people would definitely be blessed by it. I know Shalonda would kill me if I don't make sure she's a part of it. And I don't want you to get in trouble with your manager, because I want to stay in good graces with you. Just let him know that we will be your outlet once you decide to announce some of these things here locally and nationally. We want to be a part of your team, but we really are grateful for the time that you made for us today. Let me say one more thing to you. You be the box. Don't try to fit into the box. Wherever you are, that's who you are. And I mean that. You seriously, you've heard the scripture, right? Fearfully and wonderfully made. That's you. That's you.
Thank you.
Yep. However you do it, that's you. Okay. Troy, thank you. And I mean,
thank you so much.
All right. You got to come back one day soon. And I mean it. Let us know what's happening. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do a clinic soon in Houston, eh?
Listen, I'm serious about that. We'll start. I'll give it to Silas. We'll start putting some things together. All right.
Well, we put it in the universe, so now it's going to happen.
I like that. I like the way you say it. I like the way you say it. Ladies and gentlemen, she is one of the best of the best. Long drive, pro golf, and just phenomenal person is Troy C. Mullins right here on the lunch break. Troy, have a great rest of your day. We'll be talking to you again soon.
You too, AJ. Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. Man, I tell you what, I'm stargazing. I got me a new favorite. Move over, Tiger Woods. I got me a new favorite. What's interesting is I was talking with their manager, and he was asking me, can you name the top 10 female golfers in the world? I was like, no. He's like, top 5. I was like, no. The only name that comes to mind is Michelle Wie. Michelle Wie hadn't won anything in a long time. I say that to say that, man, the time is ripe for the Troy Mullinses of the world. The time is right for the game to be, modernized and urbanized and what have you. And I'm talking to parents out there. Don't be surprised or disappointed if your son, especially if your daughter, wants to try golf. Let them. They don't all have to be basketball players. They certainly don't all have to be football players or baseball players. In fact, they don't all have to do sports. She talked about being, and in fact, I love this. She majored in China, Asia, Pacific Studies and International Relations, becoming fluent in both Mandarin and sign language while competing in the 200 meters, 800 meters, 100 meters, hurdles, long jump, shot put, and javelin. And she qualified for her first World Long Drive Championship back in 2012 after just picking up the game in 2008. What are you saying to me? Man, there was a whole lot of greatness in her. All you got to do is let it develop. Let it develop. I love her story. I love her talking about her challenge. And she even said that challenge is still with her today. Not listening to the negativity and realizing that her dreams and her values and her passions are important as well. And she can go for them. I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody. You are allowed to go for your dreams, not live somebody else's expectations for your life. And we just heard it from an amazing young lady. Oh, man. I'm telling y'all you know me, that she is a show favorite. She's an AJ favorite. I'm telling you, Troy C. Mullen, man. I'm getting shirts. I'm getting whatever she comes out with. If it ain't unisex, if it's unisex, I'm in it. If it's unisex, I'm in it. Shalonda, she said we need a cute woman's golf gear line. Shalonda, we got to get that. We got to get that clinic set up. We got to get Troy in town. Got to do it. All right, I got to get ready to take a break, man. I'm all, man. You about to make me go dig up my clubs. I got to back one of those old cars out of the garage and find some clubs that I had stored over there. I might just need to go to Top Golf for a minute and just drive from off one of those driving bays, huh? Shalonda said, "I'll be there." All right. Look, you talking about I'll be there? We're putting it together, you and me. Doc, what you talking about? You'll be there. Roll those sleeves up and let's get to work. All right, y'all, let me take this break. If you want in, 281-453-1000. I see a lot of messages that came in. In fact, let me read this one right here. Tracy said, I used to golf a little bit with my grandfather, and then when he passed away, I stopped golfing. This young lady made me decide I'm going to get back out there because the memories of me and my grandfather out there were priceless, and I don't want those to die. Wow. Think about that. Think about that. Man. All right, I'll read some more when we come back right after this on the lunch break. Don't forget, if you're dealing with grief and bereavement, there's a symposium coming up just for you. Greater St. Matthew's Baptist Church is having a grief and bereavement symposium this Saturday from 9 to noon. If you want more information, dial this number, 713-734-5670. That's 713-734-5670. You are not alone, and there is help for you. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now.
800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours, any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately, with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047. Paid for by the IPG Law Group.
Beautiful people, this is Major. This is why I love you on the lunch break.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK, all new 92.3, streaming live on kyokradio.org and Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Man, Troy Mullins just blessed a lot of people. I got to read this message. Felicia said, AJ, I used to golf with a couple of my girlfriends from college. Obviously, we lost touch when we all got married and had children. And recently, they've been asking about us getting back together. I have picked up a lot of weight, and I've been ashamed to get back out there. After hearing that young lady talk about size and shape and clothes and everything like that, I just want to see my friends again. I'm not going to let that hold me back. They love me for me. Thank you, Troy. Come on, man. Listen, I'm serious. That right there, that almost made me bust up, man. That's what I'm talking about. Live your life. Live your life. You have to live in other people's expectations of you. You don't have to live in anybody else's size expectations of you. And that's what I told Troy. Are you trying to fit in that box, or are you trying to make your own box? Troy is the draw. They coming to see Troy. And like she said, a lot more of us will come to see her as she's doing her thing. I'm glad she said that, man, because that helped a lot of people, golf and non-golf related. AJ, again, that young lady was amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for having her on. I could go on and on and on, but just call me blessed. Joe Johnson, I remember seeing her video, and I couldn't believe that you had her on the show. KYOK doing big things. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you. CT said, AJ, my golf game and your golf game sound very similar. Good thing we're not playing against Troy. Listen, don't put my golf game in there with yours. It's bad. It's bad. Trust me. I used to hit it with some of my frat brothers back in the day. We used to play all the time. And, one of them moved away to Boston. He was the main one. And then there's another young man who's here, and he got off into another business and hadn't been able to play as much as we used to play. But we need to have a frat trip and go off and play somewhere. All right. G.O. says, man, I tell you what, I was really blessed by the young lady. I can only imagine how they are probably giving her the business because of her natural hair, because she's a sister, and because she can hit it farther than any of them. You know what? We didn't even talk about that. But that's another reason why I hope she doesn't ever play down and always turns up. Don't lower your standard to make other folks feel better about themselves. You be you and let them figure it out. You be you and let them figure it out. But you're right. Who knows what she goes through just because she can hit it the way she does. All right. Chili said, AJ, I really enjoyed her interview. I also loved hearing about her faith and that her faith helps her on the course. Yeah, I like that too. Her answer to that question was amazing to me because, like I said, golfers can read the greens. I don't have that gift like I want to have it. They can tell where it's going to break. They can tell, what kind of humps and bumps they got to go over. And they can see that simply by kneeling down and taking a real straight look at it. And the best ones, of course, are the ones who have the better results. And then, like she said about the wind, she had to trust that if she hit it that way, the wind was going to bring it back to where it needed to be so that she could get the distance on her drive and that long drive competition. I know Christian folks don't like me to do this, but y'all step aside for a minute. Let me talk to folks who are okay. That's called faith. Faith is not what you can see. Faith is believing in what is. Faith is not about what you can see. It doesn't take faith to only go by what you can see. The faith is believing in what is. God is. That's faith. And he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek after him. That's faith. Was it the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen? That's faith. You got to trust some things that you can't see. You got to trust when people don't believe in you that you can still do it, especially if it's keeping you up at night. I'm joking and giving Davis Mills a hard time, but he's got faith in himself. He's probably been told all throughout his life that, all right, you're all right, but you're not. And now he's got a chance to be the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. Dak Prescott, folks didn't give him a lot of encouragement when he came out of Mississippi State, backing up Tony Romo and Kellen Moore. And Romo went down, Moore went down, and guess who? Dak. And has never been taken out of the starting lineup since. Just signed one of the largest NFL contracts ever. Faith. Oh, yeah, and by the way, happened at the same time his brother died. At the same time, he suffered a catastrophic injury. Faith. If you didn't get anything out of what Troy said today, just understand this, that young lady has amazing faith. Started off in volleyball, track, heptathlon, literally moved to the other side of the country and ended up on the other side of the world. And over there, fell in love with something that her and her godfather experienced together, golf. And guess what it's doing now? It's taking her all around the world, and it's paying the bills, and it's providing her a joy like no other. Faith. We could only hope to find something that brings us that kind of joy. What's interesting, my doc, I'm going to get off this in a minute. My doctor would always tell me, hey, man, you need to find something that you love to do that you would do even if nobody else did it with you. And he would always say golf, something like golf or bike riding, hiking, something that if nobody else went, you would do it anyway. And I always think, well, I ain't all that good at golf. But his point was finding that stress relief, finding that thing where you don't have to live up to somebody else's expectations. You don't have to get anybody else's approval. You just go do it, and it provides a stress release for you that helps with your overall body, your overall health. And I can say for you personally, I'm starting to remember how much fun I used to have at the driving range. I didn't always hit good shots, but guess what? It just felt good being out there swinging, hitting some balls. I didn't have the best clubs. That was a funny story about how she ended up with Mr. Dempsey's custom-made club, and she took that one club and competed in all that tournament and actually won one in Vegas. That's outstanding, man. That's outstanding. Great, great interview. Y'all follow her, Troy C. Mullins. Look for Troy C. Mullins golfer. Mullins golfer. And you're going to find some great stuff out there on YouTube. You'll find some great pictures of her and some very famous golfers. She's a famous golfer. Love it. Love it. I'll be checking her out. And I want to thank her team for getting her on the show. That meant everything. That meant everything. All right, let's see. BR, man, I really enjoyed that interview. I really enjoyed her energy. I really enjoyed her honesty. She was very transparent. That's what we need right here. Nicole says, man, you got me calling folks saying, girl, when we go play some golf, we like you. We're going to go over to Top Golf first and see how we do. Listen, I'm with you. You don't have to go and buy a new set of clubs. You don't have to go and buy some great gear. Although, ladies, y'all have far more great clothing and all that than us men. Y'all, the gear for y'all is just amazing. But like Shalonda said, there needs to be more for sisters. I like it. I like it. CJ said, glad you said that. It's bowling for me. I'm going to find an alley. Listen, you don't have to have 18 people with you when you go to bowl. You go to bowling alley, you get some shoes, you rent out a lane, and you throw as many balls down there if you want. If they go in the gutter, okay, they're going to send the ball back to you, and you can do it again. If it gets stuck, there's a button that you can hit, and somebody will come and get your ball unstuck. The whole point is finding something for you to do that you'll enjoy. And nobody else has to do it with you. I'm telling you, man, self-care is what it is. Now, don't let all these people, the ones that were talking bad about Simone and Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams, and then they were talking all bad about this person and that person, all these other people. Listen, they don't have to live your life, and they certainly don't have to deal with your mental challenges, and you don't have to perform for them. I'm not telling you to disown your family or anything like that, but anybody who's expecting more of you other than you taking care of yourself, I need to look at that relationship. That's what I love about this new generation of athletes, man. From high school all the way up to college. When it comes to their self-care, when it comes to their brand, when it comes to that, they're like, hey, listen, me first. And not in a selfish way. My mentality, what's best for me and my family. People can perform better in the right environment. Let me see what L Dub is talking about. What's good this morning, AJ? He's out in Vegas, I think. Looking in from Phoenix, Arizona. Khalil's Frisco Fighters playing Arizona Wranglers for the league championship in the IFL Indoor Football League this Saturday on YouTube TV. All right, we got to have him on, man. Got to have him on. Got to have him on. I'm covering it all. I'm covering HBCU football. I'm covering NFL football. I'm covering IFL. I'm covering women's professional football. I'm covering it all. High school, college. I'm covering the Longhorns getting spanked in the Big 12 and in the SEC. All of that. All of that. Let me go out on a limb real quick. Write this one down. Oklahoma in the college football championship game versus not Alabama. I'm not saying Alabama's not going to the playoff. I'm saying Oklahoma will be in the championship game and not Alabama. So that gives you a couple of options. That gives you Clemson, that gives you the Ohio State, that gives you, not UT, that gives you Notre Dame, although I don't think they'll do it. But write that down. Oklahoma will be one of the teams in the college football championship game this year. Winning Wednesday. On Wednesday, August the 18th, A.J. Jones said that Oklahoma will be one of the teams in the college football championship game. Write that down. And I'm standing by it. I'm standing by it. All right, got to go. Donnie McClurkin up next with the Donnie McClurkin Show. He'll give you the best in gospel music, latest in the gospel music industry. Donnie does his thing every Monday through Friday from 2 to 3. Don't forget, a free gift, grief and bereavement symposium going on this Saturday, 9 a.m. to noon at Greater St. Matthews Southwest, 14919 South Main Street in Houston. For more information, 713-734-5670. 713-734-5670. Grief, bereavement, you're not alone. Also, I'm going to be in a play this Saturday at 7 p.m. I will be in a play this Saturday at 7 p.m. It's called Living It Up with Ida Vaughn. And I tell you what, I am excited about this play. You can get more information about tickets at Eventbrite. Just look up Eventbrite and Living It Up with Ida Vaughn. I'll post it up for more information on the tickets. It'll be this Saturday at 7 o'clock, and it's at a place called the Deluxe Theater, 3303 Lyons Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77020. And there are VIP seats available. There are good seats available. In fact, there'll be a meet the cast kind of thing on Friday. And I'm looking forward to y'all coming out. Wear your mask, and there'll be social distancing. But come on out. Let's have a good time at Living It Up with Ida Vaughn, my first stage play ever. And I'm looking forward to having some fun. As always, y'all, listen, I am so excited for Troy C. Mullins being on the show. I want to thank her. I want to thank Silas. I want to thank the entire team for having her on. Thank you, Shalonda, for even introducing me to her. And then, y'all, as always, not divided like this. When you see racism and bullying, kill it. Not the people or the person, but the racism and the bullying. How do you do that? You don't laugh about it. You don't be quiet about it. You let them know we ain't doing that here, and it won't be tolerated, all right? All right, y'all. Here's Sybil Wilkes. We'll be right back tomorrow for Throwback Thursday.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. The Pentagon is warning that terrorist networks based in Afghanistan could gain power faster than expected after the Taliban seized control last week. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin made clear to lawmakers over the last 24 hours that he wants to reassess the potential for terrorist groups to reconstitute inside Afghanistan in light of the takeover. Flights resumed from Kabul's international airport Tuesday after a frenzied and panic-filled Monday that saw thousands of Afghans swarm the tarmac in attempts to get out of Afghanistan. Top health officials in the Biden administration are expected to announce that most Americans should get COVID booster shots 8 months after becoming fully vaccinated. The plan would involve administering third shots beginning mid to late September, pending authorization from the FDA. Last week, the FDA authorized third doses for some people who are immunocompromised. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybilWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. I really hope y'all enjoyed the show today. Y'all know this was one of my favorites of all time. Troy was a delight to have. So like I said, y'all know the deal. Follow that young lady and be sure and give her lunch break love on all that she's doing. And again, we'll try and have her back. L-Dub, got to get you and your son on, man, so we can talk about the Indoor Football League and all that they're doing. And, man, again, y'all, thanks for being great listeners, great viewers, great followers. Without y'all know I wouldn't even want to do this. So y'all take care. Have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you tomorrow for Throwback Thursday.